Ladies and gentlemen, football is back.
Woo!
It's back.
I feel it. It's crisp in the air. It's you can feel it outside.
I can smell it in the air. I can taste it.
Yeah,
in the air.
And you have strong senses, dude. We all know that. You have a really strong.
I could smell something really far away.
Yeah,
like cinnamon. If it was at front of the building,
yeah,
I could smell it coming.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell to avoid that area if you don't like cinnamon.
Yeah, no. Yeah. And some people are allergic.
Yeah, it happens.
It's true. Have allergens.
It's true. Boys, back season 2. Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast, brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. Go check them out today. If you're in the Houston area, they've got 13 locations all over the place. Wings, beer, football. This weekend, head to your nearest Big City Wings if you're in the Houston area. We love Big City Wings around here at Apollo Media. So, boys, welcome back. Season 2, Play Action Takes. We had a good season last year. Our teams, the Texans and Dolphins, both made the playoffs, had a lot of fun. Throughout the regular season, obviously, y'all had a little bit more playoff success. You got to win. I didn't get that, but this is the year. We're both going to win playoff games, and hopefully, we're meeting up in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. I mean, that would certainly be fun.
Terrifying.
It would certainly be fun. The outcome.
It could be the end of the podcast.
Would be crazy. The outcome is.
It
could be the end. Yeah, it could be the end of whatever this beautiful thing we have going on. You know, I never know though. It's pretty rare when our teams in like the last 20 years have been in the same playoffs, you know, and have had good years together. You know, we had the fortune of doing this podcast, and both our teams were doing well every week, or pretty much every other week. So it was fun. It was a very fun season.
It's incredible.
It was a lot of fun. The expectations are pretty much as high as they've been in a long time for both of our teams. Definitely the Texans. The Dolphins maybe have had some years where it's like maybe they expect a little more, but overall, I mean, this is the year for both of our teams.
Both teams have
I know I'm wearing this, but when it comes to the Houston Football Texans, I hope the Dolphins get their fins clipped, and I hope they have to go to like the worst zoo in the country. That's what I want from them. I want the Dolphins to go to the zoo in the country that has the least amount of budget and like the dirtiest water and just the most filthy, disgusting environment. Stoney, you hear me?
Okay.
You hear me talking?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like when you said fins clipped, I was like, everything he's saying is gonna be awful.
Yeah,
I'm 100% saving this.
Play each other.
You're passionate.
The Texans and Dolphins play each other.
That's okay. You're passionate. I'm passionate too.
I'm just gonna not say anything about the Houston Texans in a bad way. I like the Houston Texans. They're a fun team to watch. I root for you guys. I root for our company. I root for the Houston Texans when they're not playing the Dolphins or when their implications are not interfering with each other. So I'm gonna keep it that way. But I'm gonna clip that for November and potentially January.
Now I feel like now I feel dumb.
Yeah. He should have known he was.
No, 100%.
True.
I bought you hats, both of you. I got Garrett a Dolphins hat. You have Dolphins hat. I have yet to receive any piece of Texans memorabilia from you boys. So,
well, we were going through a rebrand. I didn't want to give you something old.
Whatever.
You know, that's why I didn't get a jersey last year, is because I was like, I don't want to spend the money for something that's just going to change. You know, I didn't even know if we'd have the same.
That's
logo.
fair. That's fair. You know? It was a rebrand of sorts. I want to see what it looks like on the field in the regular season. Preseason, I saw it. I was like, okay, not bad. You know, we're good. But for more Texans talk, head to our Off the Gridiron show on Apollo HOU on YouTube. Go to @Apollo HOU on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. You'll get all the Off the Gridiron Houston Texans content you need, all the play action takes. And then we got all the other sports beyond the diamond for Astros baseball. We've got Summit State of Mind for Rockets. We've got Zero Gravity for NBA. So hit that subscribe button. More content always to be had. And obviously, once we get to October, it's going to be action-packed. We're going to have all the sports going at the same time. It's going to be crazy. So hit the subscribe button on Apollo HOU's YouTube. Road to 20K. We just hit 10K recently. So thank you for all the subscribers that are currently subscribed. And if you're not subscribed to the show, go ahead and hit that button. Boys, let's get into the season preview. 2024-2025 season. We're going to pick our division winners. We're going to start in the AFC. And we're going to start with your division, the AFC South. I know who I'm taking, but we'll go Garrett, Noah, me. Picks for the AFC South.
you want me to go like you want me to say who's going to win it and then
just who's going to win the division?
After that,
everything else doesn't matter. We're just doing division winners.
The Texans.
Yep.
Texans are going to win the division. I mean, I've seen a lot of picks. I've seen a lot of people trying to be different. Say, ooh, the Colts may win or the Jaguars may win the AFC South. There's no real reason to think that the Texans won't win the division. So it's the Texans.
Yeah. Anybody who thinks that the Colts are going to beat the Texans in the AFC South just wants to be different. That's simple fact of the matter. And there's no reason to believe the Colts or the Titans or the Jaguars beat the Texans in this division. There's just no way. The Texans have it. And if the Texans lose it, then it's because of the Texans. It's not because of the Colts or the Jags. It's because the Texans completely fell apart for some reason. So
yeah, sure. We're specifically talking to Peter Schrager here.
Dude, I saw that shit.
What was that? What Texans not making the playoffs, Jags winning the division, and the Titans making the wild card? Question mark?
I couldn't believe it. I usually respect Peter a lot. I like Peter. I usually think he's incredible at what he does, but I just couldn't even believe what I saw.
Yeah, the Broncos making it over the Texans. It just had no credibility.
I think engagement was low. I think a quota needed to be hit on the show and as well as socials. Yeah. And maybe he just went out on a limb. I'm hoping that's not what he truly believes. And I'm hoping he was engagement farming, which those are the worst types of people. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Keep your job at.
I mean, God dang it. If that is what he believes, get us on TV.
The real ball knowers in.
You know? I mean, like we need to get real ball knowers up there. Like that's crazy. Bo Nix making it over CJ Stroud. Come on,
dude. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know if Good Morning Football's ratings have just dipped a lot, which makes sense because they don't have their original.
They dipped.
Yeah, Kay Adams isn't there anymore. None of their original guys are there except Kyle and Peter, and so maybe they needed some clicks. But what a dumb way to get clicks. I mean, you just look ridiculous. That's one of the best rosters in the NFL, and you're like, I don't think they're making the playoffs. It's like what?
Ridiculous. I'm also taking the Texans. Year 2. New coach, obviously, you get a little bit better. The Dolphins got a little bit better under year 2 of Mike McDaniel. Saw a little bit more success. Offense starts to look a little bit cleaner. The defense probably excels. You added Danielle Hunter, like Stephon Diggs. You added to your team Joe Mixon. Like you've got all these weapons, and now you've got a fortified defensive line. I think your corners are really good. Your safeties are good. So, I mean, yeah, give me the Texans, AFC South. AFC East. Garrett, who you got? Oh.
No, I'll go first.
Careful, you have a certain hat on. I know.
Jets, Jets.
Oh, come on.
Jets are winning it. Jets are taking it to the house. I'm sorry. Josh Allen has no receivers. Miami is good. Miami's great. They're going to be second in the division, probably get in wild card wise, but yeah, no, Jets got it. We're going to get one more year of Aaron Rodgers. They got a good roster. They're getting Devontae Adams by Halloween. And that defense is pretty incredible, top to bottom. So barring an injury to Aaron Rodgers, the Jets are taking it
Garrett,
to the house,
just
baby.
Start talking.
I really do think that the Dolphins have the best chance to win the division as it currently stands. I haven't seen Aaron Rodgers throw a touchdown pass in a while. It's been
over 500 days.
Yeah, it's been a while. There's no doubt in my mind that he can probably get back to where he was. He still has the arm talent, but the Robert Saleh fucking sucks. Their offensive line is still kind of sus. Their personnel outside of Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, it's sus. I mean, you say Devontae Adams. If I was the Raiders, I would hold him for a huge ransom. I'd be like 2 first-round picks. And if they do that, they're just going to doom themselves even more. I think the Buffalo Bills actually might be better than the Jets this year, just simply because Josh Allen, he's Josh Allen. But on top of that, the most talented roster in that division is the Miami Dolphins. Tua got paid. Jalen going to get paid. Tyreek is just incredible. Their defense is very underrated. It's good. It's a great defense. Stoney knows that. It's the Dolphins. Unless they have another collapse like they did last year. No offense.
They could do totally collapse. They've done it every year that they've ever been decent. So
yeah, just need to hold on to a few more games going into later in the season. and then the dome games, they're going to tear it up. So I think the Dolphins will win the division.
Yeah, the Dolphins are incredible. I'll say this, and I'm sorry, Stoney, I'll let you go in a second, but the Dolphins are incredible. They're a really good team. But Tua versus Aaron Rodgers, I'm taking Aaron Rodgers every single time.
Robert Saleh has 7 kids. How can you be a good football coach if you have 7 children at home? There's just no way.
7 children?
Damn. It's true. You just need to be a cool guy like Mike.
So this is where I'm at with the division. I'm picking the Dolphins. I can't not pick the Dolphins here. They should have won it last year. They didn't. They faltered in 2 games that they should have won late in the season, December and January. This is pitiful. I collapsed in my seat in Hard Rock Stadium, both games, Monday night against the Titans and Sunday night against the Bills. Probably have never been more depressed with the Dolphins team in my life. It was brutal. But the Jets have Robert Saleh as their head coach. Don't trust him. Aaron Rodgers is 39. The locker room's off. Hassan Reddick's not there. The corners, they say they're very good. However, every time the Dolphins play against those corners, they go off 100-plus yards, a couple touchdowns. I'm not concerned with their defense just because we don't have to take a lot of time to throw the ball. That's fine by me. The Bills are the boogeyman in this division. They are the new Patriots. They keep winning it. Josh Allen is terrifying every time we play against them. I hate Josh Allen. I hate the Buffalo Bills. But they seem to have the weird injury bug that teams get, that really good teams get during the offseason, like just player after player after player. And you're like, what is going on? Don't like that at all. I don't like that they don't have any wide receivers other than, Keon Coleman, sure, Shakir, whatever. Like, Curtis Samuel. Doesn't. I have Jalen Ramsey and Kendall Fuller as my 2 corners now. I'm fine there. Also, their starting safety is Damar Hamlin. He is listed safety number 1 on their depth chart heading into week 1. Sean McDermott confirmed it in his press conference today with the media. So the defense has gotten worse. Tre'Davious White's gone. Jordan Poyer's gone. Like, the core of that defense is not there anymore. And Matt Milano is obviously out till about December with, I believe, a torn bicep or torn pec, something like that. So not great. You never want to see injuries. I don't want injuries on any team. I don't care who they are. I don't want to see the injuries. But they have the injury bug. And Josh Allen has like minimal weapons now to work with. This is the Dolphins year. We're going to do it. We're better. We're better than we were last year.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. I'm not in Dallas sucking off Stoney right now. They are the best roster, and I do trust, like what we were talking about off camera, or was it on camera, about coaches in their 3rd year, typically just actually making a move and winning playoff games and making a run. And I think they do it this year. I think y'all win a playoff game. I don't know if y'all get deep in the playoffs, because still, on the road in the cold, it's still a question mark. But I think at home, get a playoff game at home, you can win it. Yeah, absolutely, you can win that.
That's a lot of people have the Bills really highly touted in their power rankings, and I get it. I understand why, to an extent. I understand Josh Allen is Josh Allen, and he's incredible, and then he's, like Stoney said, the boogeyman of this division. But unless like Keon Coleman comes out and is incredible immediately, Josh is gonna struggle. Josh is gonna struggle. He's had Stephon Diggs for 4 years. He's had Gabe Davis for a long time too. Like, he's had guys that he can rely on to be there, and he just doesn't have that anymore. I know he's got.
It's going to be his biggest test.
It is his biggest test, and I mean, he's got some safety blanket tight ends that are damn good. But other than that, there's really not much going on there. Not in the backfield, nothing at the receivers. Only the tight ends is okay, and so I really think they're going to struggle, and that's why I think it's the Jets or the Dolphins division right now. And obviously, when I say the Jets, a lot of people are going to question that. But the thing is, the Dolphins, really, it's a Dolphins division, but also I think the Jets are just going to be able to make a run because they do have a really good team. But I'm not worried about the Bills in this division.
I am
at all.
I'm terrified.
Yeah, they kind of remind me, their season right now, or Josh Allen and their offense reminds me of 2013 Patriots, of when they just got gutted. Their offense got gutted.
Yeah,
Gronk was out for a while. Aaron Hernandez got arrested for murder. They lost Wes Welker in the offseason. They got gutted, and Tom Brady still was Tom Brady. Took him to the playoffs, all the way to the AFC Championship game. So, obviously, Tom Brady, the the greatest quarterbacks get tested, and this is Josh Allen's test. This is his biggest test so far in his career. So if Josh Allen is like that, then they're like that. But just big question mark, a question mark going into the season.
Yeah.
AFC North. I'm going to take the Ravens here. I have no faith in Steelers. The Browns have a rapist at quarterback, and the Bengals is weird. The vibes are off with the Bengals. Joe Burrow still can't really throw a ball. He's still grabbing his wrist all the time, and that's kind of concerning. Jamar Chase just probably won't play week 1. If you're a fantasy holder of Jamar Chase, Noah, in 2 different leagues, that's a shame. He's probably just not going to play until he gets 1 penny more than Justin Jefferson. So I don't trust the Bengals. I don't trust the Browns. I don't trust the Steelers. Give me the Ravens. That's an easy pick for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, no, you can go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, well, one, Jamar, hey, buddy, figure it out. I think you're doing just fine. I got him 2 league.
I mean, he is on some pussy shit.
He is. The penny thing is crazy. If that's true, because that has been a little clickbaity. I don't know if that's super true, but if it is true, that's fucking ridiculous. And also, I got you with like the fucking 4th overall pick, 3rd overall. Like, play, motherfucker. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, I'm taking the Ravens. And here's the deal. I said this the other day to Garrett. The Ravens, they easily could win a Super Bowl this year. Like if they have what they need to do it. Now I understand when the AFC. I know they got to deal with obviously the Bengals in their division, the Browns. They got to deal with the Dolphins. They got to deal with the Texans. They got to deal with the Chiefs, obviously. So it's going to be difficult, but they have everything they need. They got Derrick Henry now. Derrick Henry, for how many years have we been saying, hey, he's going to fall off soon, and then he's still incredible. Won't. And so I think he's got at least 1 to 2 more years left in the tank. So they're set there. They got the boys at receivers. They got Mark Andrews. They got Lamar, who's a freak. He's reigning MVP. They got a solid defense. Like, there's no reason for them to not be in the Super Bowl. Now, if they're not, it's because of something that happened to them, or it's something that's their own fault, and they got to figure that out, right? But so it's definitely the Ravens are definitely winning the AFC North, because you're right. The vibes in Cincy, everyone's hyping them up, and I want them to be hyped up. I like the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow. I like Jamar. I like T, right? But there's just something going on that just doesn't feel right, and I think they're going to have another disappointing year, if I had to guess right now. And the rest of the Steelers suck dick, and the Browns suck dick too. So Ravens all the way.
I don't really think the Steelers or the Browns suck dick, but their quarterback situation is weird. They're gonna win less games because of that, obviously. So they're towards the bottom. And I kind of wanted before, a few weeks ago, I kind of was thinking, I think the Bengals might win this division, but I've thought about it. Are they dysfunctional as fuck? Like T. Higgins was talk of the town in the offseason. Now Jamar Chase is talk of the town. Yeah. Both of them not very happy with their contract situations. Joe Burrow, like Stoney said, I was thinking about drafting him this year in at least one league. I saw the NFL doctors doing the videos being like, well, if this happens, if this wrist injury happens, and he won't ever fucking play again and shit like that. And I was like, if he's got no Jamar Chase for at least a few weeks, T. Higgins is unhappy. Their running back situation is wild. Yeah. Chase Brown or Zach Moss, whatever. That's crazy. I don't know about their defense still. Yeah, no, the Ravens in the regular season, give me that. Give me that all day. They have a great defense. Lamar's a freak. Zay Flowers is going to be good again. The Ravens are clearly the best regular season team in this division.
If the Ravens don't win this division, it is because of their defensive coaching now. Because Mike McDonald, gone. He's in Seattle. Their number 2 defensive play caller that was going to be their defensive coordinator now is the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, Anthony Weaver. They just lost their top 2 defensive coaches in the offseason, and that would be a reason for regression for the Ravens. However, they play in a division where
for sure
no one really trusts any of the other teams. Russell Wilson is a quarterback for one of them, or Justin Fields by the time they play each other. Terrible, awful. Mike Tomlin, probably gone out of Pittsburgh. He needs a new change of scenery, I think. Get rid of him. The Browns have, obviously, number 4 quarterback, nasty man. that should be fine. He won't be playing much, and he's also making $35 million. Not bad. Not bad.
Something
and then the
insane,
Bengals, obviously, we just talked about the dysfunction there with the entire offense, basically, and their defense isn't that good. So the Ravens should just walk into a division title regardless of what their defensive situation looks like. It's an easy pick. This is also an easy pick for me, the AFC West. I think we're a year away from this one being a much more interesting division, but the AFC West, I'm going to take the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Until he proves me otherwise, I will always choose Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid in the Chiefs.
Yeah, we don't have to spend a long time on this division. I mean, it's the Chiefs, and like you said, there are other teams that are going to be making it interesting the next few years. Hopefully, the Chargers, because I like Harbaugh a lot. I love Jim Harbaugh a lot, and he's a big football guy. So I hope the Chargers. I love Justin Herbert too. I hope the Chargers start to take the necessary steps to be a contender for the next few years. But other than that, there's just that division. It's the AFC East for the last 20 years. Yeah. You know, it's the Patriots and then everyone else doing fuck shit. No offense.
100%.
You know, it's the Chiefs. Very easy pick.
Half of Kansas City's roster could get hit by a bus, and I would still pick Kansas City.
As long as Mahomes is there,
and Andy Reid,
we're good.
That's what I'm saying. So as long as he's good and Travis is good and whatever receiver they're trotting out that day that's not suspended, like it doesn't matter. Like they're gonna figure it out. So yeah, 100%. The Chiefs are just incredible, and I'm gonna be picking them probably for the next 15 years of my life.
Unfortunately, we'll move on to the NFC. None of our teams are in this conference, so no blood is in this. We don't have any fire, any passion towards these fan bases and these teams. We love football. That's why we're going to pick them. The NFC South. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons. Best roster, new coach, an actual quarterback. You have to win maybe 9 games. You could probably win 8 and win the division. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, no. Noah, you can go ahead. Sorry.
Just Baker's dozen, baby. Baker's dozen. Go Bucks. Yeah, no, I got the Bucks winning the division this year. Got the Bucks winning the division. I think the Falcons are a little fraudulent. I do. I think Kirk's a little fraudulent. I think he's on one leg. I think he's out the door. I think they paid him a lot of money, and that's going to backfire big time. I like Kirk, but the Buccaneers got something, man. They got a good team. They got Baker. They got Mike Evans. They got a solid backfield. The defense is fine for that division. It's fine, and I just don't think the Falcons are going to be all that. I really don't. I think the Falcons would be better off starting.
And they might end up doing that.
Yeah, I don't think it's out of the world of possibility, but they're going to give Kirk a shot, and then it's going to end up going to Michael Penix probably halfway through the season, and by then, shit, the Bucks are at 7 wins by midseason. You know, the Bucks are at 6 wins. So no, I'm going Buccaneers all the way. They got some juice.
The Bucks have they're the vibe team of this division. They've got all the vibes.
Yeah,
they're all buddies. Sure. It seems good.
Yeah.
The reason why I let Noah go ahead of me was because I wanted to be the last guy, or I wanted to be the guy to say the Buccaneers because I mean, you're making me pick between Baker Mayfield and Kirk Cousins, but I like Baker more than Kirk.
Yeah.
You know, I think if there's more talent around Baker, he can put up Kirk-esque numbers, but also last year in the playoffs, Baker was balling. I mean, he went to Detroit. He balled out, dude. He had him on the ropes. You know, aside from a few bad picks, he's a gunslinger. You know,
gonna happen.
He was balling, man.
Yeah.
So you're right. They are the vibe team. They have a first place schedule, harder schedule than they did last year, but I've bought into the Falcons before. I've bought into Kirk Cousins many times. Love the man. I think I think people are gonna be disappointed by the Falcons this year.
Me too.
They have a great roster. They have new coaches, new promising coaches. I don't see the Falcons being that team. People are saying they're gonna be in the NFC Championship game. Fuck no. Come on, man. It's Baker's dozen all the way. It's Tampa time.
I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Move on to the NFC East. This division low-key stinks. low-key.
Yeah.
I'm going to take, it maybe because I live here, I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles just have the worst vibes of all time for some reason in my brain. I don't know what it is. Jalen Hurts in the media didn't give me the warm and fuzzies. Sirianni probably could have been fired last year, and everyone was talking about it. He could be a midseason fire if they just start off pretty slow. Like I could see that happening. AJ Brown went to Ole Miss, so I hate him. That's probably where I'm going here. I'm going to take the Cowboys. Right. Give me the Cowboys for the NFC East.
Beep the boop boop beep the boop.
We got breaking news.
Real quick. Jamar Chase is in uniform and at today's practice.
Good for him.
Hey, let's go.
I think Jamar Chase just returned to practice. It was 1 minute to go. Ian Rappaport tweeted
I'm seeing it.
Let's go.
Like a bunch of people started tweeting.
We're so back. We're so back. All right.
Jamar Chase looks like he is ended his holdout. Maybe. He's not in street clothes.
His holdout came out of nowhere, I felt like. It was
It did. I think he really was like, I think he saw CD get a bag and he thought, I want a bag too. And then they were like, dude, just wait a fucking year. And he was like, all right. Or they told him like, hey, we can keep talking about it throughout the season. But we really need help.
Please.
Here.
We need help.
We really need help here.
Yeah, maybe Joe had to go. Maybe Joe had to go tell him, like, "Hey, come on, we got to go."
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. But all right, anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, NFC East, man. In my heart of hearts, I want to say the Cowboys because I don't like the Eagles. I don't. I agree. I think they have bad vibes. I think the city has bad vibes. I think overall, it's just kind of a bleak organization.
Why do you say that?
It's just think about it. Like think about Philly, like because Stoney mentioned Jalen not giving the warm fuzzies at press conferences, but I'm like, that's just not even what the city of Philly wants. They don't want warm and fuzzy. They're like, I've been up since 4 a.m. out in the cold, win some fucking football games. I don't care. And so, I think that's just their vibe. And I don't like it. I like warm fuzzies. I like Miami Dolphins, dude. I like Mike McDaniels laughing and Tua laughing and the sunshine. But I just don't like the Eagles. So I want to say the Cowboys. But I'm going to say the Eagles.
Another thing about the Eagles, last year Devontae Smith was a captain. No longer a captain this season. He was not voted captain by his teammates. 2 Devo wide receivers in the room. Recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And we've seen it in Philadelphia before with Terrell Owens.
That is terrible.
It happens. It happens a lot.
Yeah, that's true. They're just stacked, man. They got Saquon now. They just got a really, really damn good team. And I think Sirianni low-key sucks. But but we'll see how that plays out. But maybe he can redeem himself. But last year it was atrocious. Their collapse was unexcusable.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Eagles because their roster's loaded. They have a loaded roster. Last year they kind of had a crazy collapse, I think, due to a little bit of injury to Jalen Hurts also coaching. They got Vic Fangio. Stoney knows all about Vic. I think who's that fucking guy from Boise State? Dallas. Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator now. Both upgrades at coordinators from last year. They're healthy. I mean, they got a great offense. I'm picking the Eagles, but I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are too far off. Dak and CD, that's a great tandem. They still have Micah. They still have a great defense. I really don't see Dallas being that bad. I think they're gonna make it close. As for the other 2 teams, fucking forget about it. They're just not even close. I think the Commanders have the opportunity to have a number 1 pick next year. I think the Commanders might have pick 1 next year. Who is their wide receiver 2?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's just
Luke McCaffrey probably.
And now you have a first year. Well, he's not first year, but a new first year defensive head coach. Bad, just everything's bad on their team. I think they're not very good, and the Giants suck. But Eagles division to lose, Cowboys make it close. Eagles are just too good.
Yeah.
Moving on, we're going north. The NFC North, the Lions won the division for the first time in 30 years, basically. Good for them last season. Mm-hmm. I wrote down a team. I don't know if I feel good about it, but I'm going Packers. Going Jordan Love. I think their offense is really good. I think LaFleur's got the boys going. I think their defense is good enough, and the Packers have all the lore. I don't think the Lions run was a miracle run. I think the Lions are going to be very good. I just think the Packers are going to be much better this year now that they got some continuity. They almost beat the 49ers last year. People forget. I don't know. I just have good vibes about the Packers, and I'm going to take them.
I buy into the Packers hype. I buy into the Jordan Love hype for sure. I think Jordan Love is incredible. I think Jordan Love and CJ Stroud going into by the end of next year, both going to be considered bona fide top 5 guys. I think both of them. I think the Packers, and I like the Packers. I've always liked the Packers. I just think they're really young. And I think the Lions have at least a couple more years of really running this division. I think Green Bay is going to be nipping at their heels. But then also, this division is kind of stacked right now.
Not fun.
Because the Bears, too, the Bears are not something to fucking play with right now. Caleb's a dog, and he has weapons. And then also, if J.J. McCarthy wasn't hurt, the Vikings would be a little bit of something, too.
Apparently, you think Sam Darnold's going to have a Pro Bowl year.
Sam Darnold could have a Pro Bowl year for sure. I think I'm not saying he's gonna make the Pro Bowl, but I think he could throw for 4,000. Yeah. I do. I think, and you don't automatically get into the Pro Bowl with those numbers because the picks might be high, which I could totally see from him. But in this division, the Vikings, I don't care how well Sam Darnold plays, it's not going to be enough to beat the Lions or the Packers or the Bears. So I mean, they're definitely the little brother. I'm going to take the Lions, but this division is stacked, and I'm excited to see what Green Bay does.
I respect the pick, Stoney. I think the Packers are very promising. Great coaches, obviously. Jordan Love looks like a beast. The receivers, a lot of young talent in there. They'll make it interesting for sure. I think they'll have a good year and make the postseason. But I just counted just now how many dome games the Lions have this season. And we all know how well Jared Goff and that run game plays in a dome.
Yeah.
They have 14 dome games.
I think we talked about it during the schedule release. They don't play outside of a dome until like week 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I just counted. Like there's 14 games where they play indoors. That could be 14 games that they win. So I'm going the Lions. They're building something. Obviously, they've been building something special, but the fact that they got Ben Johnson to stay and they've just keep drafting well and making interesting acquisitions. And also Dan Campbell was in an Applebee's commercial.
He was
the other day. So he's now an Applebee's spokesperson. I respect the fuck out of that.
That's awesome.
Endless boneless wings. So I'm going Detroit Lions.
I wanted to. Yep. I wanted to. I don't know what it is with the Packers. They're just drawing me in, boys. I just have.
They have vibes there. They
have every inclination.
They got good vibes, but also they're playing at Lambeau, and that's hard. I know they're going to get used to it, but they're so young; they're not even used to that yet. Like they still just have a lot to learn, and the Lions are ready right now. And Dan Campbell ain't fucking.
No, he's
around.
not. I love Dan Campbell.
He's having a 3 for 10 at Applebee's, a couple Appletinis, and then going to practice and gnawing at feet bones or whatever he likes to do.
Dolphins legend Dan Campbell as well. NFC West, last division winner that we're picking. The 49ers have pretty much run this division for the last several years, since 2019. They re-signed Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy. Everyone's coming back. They have their quarterback set again. It's not Garoppolo anymore, so that helps. Their defense is still really good, but I'm not picking the 49ers. I am picking the Los Angeles Rams. I'm doing it. Sean McVay has the sauce. I don't know what it is about Sean McVay. He, I think, is the best Shanahan tree coach, including Mike McDaniel. I mean, he has the Super Bowl, obviously. Shanahan's been to multiple, but I don't know what it is about the Rams this year. I think Matt Stafford's coming back healthy. You got Puka and Cooper Kupp coming back. I know Puka's a little dinged up, but now Cooper Kupp's back, so it doesn't really matter. They got running backs, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum. Their defense is a little questionable. No Aaron Donald anymore, so that's not great. You never want to lose Aaron Donald, but I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams. I believe in Sean McVay to like the ends of this earth. I don't know. I wish he was my coach sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll go next because I have something interesting for y'all. I also wanted to pick the Rams. I want to pick the Rams right now. Like you said, I I trust Sean McVay more than Shanahan,
Yes.
especially in the playoffs. And there's something about there's something about the 49ers that are scaring me this year. They're scaring me this year. I don't know. I think Brock Purdy is always going to be a fraud. He's not an MVP candidate. He's not going to get. He shouldn't get 70 million a year or whatever people are saying. I think they're going to be a great team. They're a great roster, but I think the Rams will manage more wins, and I think maybe the Rams might be able to like sweep them.
Yeah,
this year
they always have trouble.
They
with
might
them.
be able to. I like. I mean, there's no reason if Cooper Kupp can stay healthy as well. That offense with Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua, it's nice. Matthew Stafford's nice. I like the Rams. Give me the Rams.
Yeah. I mean, I respect that y'all like to be different. I think that's cool.
Oh, it's not about being different. It's about being right. That's the difference. That's what you're wrong about.
It's about knowing ball.
Well, here's the deal. Before you spout it off, I was about to say I'm going to be different too, and I'm also picking the Rams.
Look at us.
Yeah, I'm picking the Rams too. I was ready to say it earlier. I mean, the Rams are incredible. Like you mentioned, McVay is the sauce. And look, they got Puka, they got Cooper, they got Kyron, they got Corum, they got Stafford. Solid O-line. Defense, you mentioned their defense being a little shaky. 5 of their 6 draft picks this year were all defensive players. And when the Rams actually have draft picks, because they gave away so many of them over the years, they hit on a lot of them. They had a guy, I can't remember his name, but he was a guy in Defensive Rookie of the Year talk.
Yeah, Kobe Turner.
Yeah, and who wasn't, no one thought that was going to, no one expected that. He was incredible. They just know what they're doing over there. Like you mentioned, McVay. And yeah, look, the Niners are great. The Niners are stacked, right? Of course, they're the obvious answer to win this division. They still don't. I love the guy. I love the story. We still just don't know what the deal is with Brock Purdy. We really don't. I know he's been good. He's played in the Super Bowl. He's looked okay in the Super Bowl. There's just still some I need to see more. And I like the guy. I'm not shitting because a lot of people like to shit on Brock Purdy, Garrett Harrelson included. But the thing is, like, I like his story. I think he can be good. I just need to see more. And look, Matt Stafford is a dog still. So I think they have everything they need to win this division. And it'd be more fun. I'm tired of the Niners. Let's get them out of here.
Aside from a few quarters in the playoffs, I just didn't see it from Brock Purdy. He almost got beaten by the Packers. He had to take a few miracle catches from a few guys in the second half against the Lions to win that game.
Yeah,
that Brandon Ayuk catch, miracle catch. Juwan Jennings, when he people were glazing when Brock Purdy rolled out to his left and threw it back over this way to the right. And Juwan Jennings was right there. He fucking airmailed him, but he had to just reach up and grab it one handed. And people were like, "Oh, see, he can do it." A little Mahomey. It's a little Mahomey. I was like, I mean, he took a miracle catch. He's got great personnel. He's not saying he's a bad quarterback. He makes the throws. He has the numbers and stuff he produces. But if there was a chance that the Rams hosted the Niners in the playoffs, I'm taking the Rams in that game. I'm taking the Rams in that game, and it might happen. Who knows? So I like the Rams to win.
Those are division picks. We're going to get into some awards. Let's pick our awards. We'll start off hot. Let's go MVP. I want y'all to go first because I have 2 names written down and I still haven't decided. I'm game time decision here.
What do you think I'm gonna say? What do you think I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say CJ freaking Stroud. You know,
yeah, CJ Stroud as well. 5,500 yards, 55 touchdowns, 9 picks. He's gonna have a 2013 Peyton Manning year. He's incredible.
Yeah. Me and Noah were texting the other night, and this is not us being homers, maybe, but we just fully believe this. I'm fully comparing this team to the 2013 Denver Broncos with players and coaching situations and how we ended last year.
Yeah.
Second year with our star quarterback, defensive-minded head coach who's pretty good. John Fox was okay. 3 great receivers. Tank is Wes Welker. Nico Collins is Eric Decker. Stephon Diggs is Demaryius Thomas. Rest in peace. Solid O-line. Defensively, you got stars on the defense. Will Anderson is Von Miller. Derek Stingley is Champ Bailey.
Yep.
You got safeties up the top like I forgot Raheem Moore, whatever. But our safeties are way better. Like I look, and then the fact that the Ravens beat the Broncos in the divisional round in 2013 season, and then they came back and added Wes Welker, added a receiver in the offseason, and they went to the Super Bowl. It's all there. I really do think CJ Stroud, if the offense is in rhythm, everyone's healthy, let's pray that they're healthy. Let's pray that it stays in rhythm. There's no reason to think that he won't have close to 5K, maybe 50 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think he's an MVP pick all the way. And the media loves him. Okay. Let's be real. The media fucking loves the kid. I love the kid. So I just think he's the darling right now, and he's best set up to win the MVP this year.
I could not have said it better. He's the best quarterback I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. So I have 4 names written down. CJ Stroud was one of them. Okay. I did put Tua down as one of my names, but I think we're going to run the ball a lot more this season than we did last year. And we ran the ball a good bit last year, but I think the touchdown vultures are going to be in the red zone. I think it's going to be like Achane, Jalen Wright, Raheem Mostert. You just put all 3 of them on the court.
Yeah, you'll have 9 running backs.
They're going to run the ball in the red zone this year, more so than they're going to throw the ball. They're not going to do the goal line fades anymore. I think they're just going to run the ball. Just fuck it. Do HB off tackle and inside zone, and we're going to run the ball. Way it should be. That's the way real football's played, boys. So that's going to rule out Tua for me. You all already took CJ, so I'm not going to do CJ. I'm not going to do a clean sweep. I don't want to put that juju on him.
I know who you're fucking taking.
Go ahead.
Can I guess who you're taking?
I think I know too.
You're taking Jordan Love.
No.
Jordan Love
Different
too.
NFC quarterbacks. Okay. I have 2 more NFC quarterbacks on this list. Matt Stafford was another pick. I think he's just going to have a special year. I believe in the Rams. He was. I think he's up there, but I'm going to do it. Like, it's the regular season MVP. It is not the playoff MVP. And it does not matter what happens in the playoffs. Right. Who gets this MVP award? Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys is going to win MVP. He's going to throw for 4,800 yards. He's going to have 40 touchdowns. He's got Ezekiel Elliott back. The vibes are back, boys. And he's in a contract year. He's trying to get $65-70 million a year. He's going to
Ezekiel
I understand,
has a bedtime.
But the vibes. It's not about the play on the field for him. The vibes. He's got his best friend back in town on the team, and Zeke is in his college number. So the vibes are off the charts for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm taking Dak Prescott as my 2024 MVP.
First off,
conversation last year, so
gobbledygook to that take. Sorry, you better off picking Jordan Love. Like, we gave it to you right there.
I didn't want it. I should have went Matt Stafford. Hand up. I'm taking Dak.
2, yeah, you should have.
Giving you the tools, make some freaking comedy.
Yeah,
buddy.
dude. 2, what is going on with this Ezekiel Elliott?
No, there's no hype. It's like, only
people
vibes.
Are like, there is hype.
Well, it's not for me.
Stoney, there is hype. Like, if you look at his fantasy projections, like his week 1, it's like, oh, he's gonna get 10 points. What the fuck are y'all been watching? I see Ezekiel Elliott looks like an old man that I see at Dunkin' Donuts every day. Like, that's how he walks. It's just how he's built. Like, he's like not good anymore.
I saw him go through the thing that running backs run through. They put their head down and like they get hit as they run through it. And he fucking walked out and he was just limping and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's just practicing and getting hurt. And
he's just going to get the ball on within the 3-yard line. They're just going to give him HB dive and he's going to score touchdowns.
And there will not be a
He's going to be better than Tony Pollard was. Do you remember the Dolphins play? Tony Pollard has a wide open end zone with 15 yards to go left, and somehow he gets tackled before the end zone on 4th and goal. Like, that didn't make any sense.
I don't think he's going to be better.
I think he is. I think Tony Pollard was really bad last season. Anywho, that's the MVP. Let's go to Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year. This is always an interesting pick. I believe D'Amico Ryan should have won it last year. Kevin Stefanski won it. It was a trials and tribulations for the Browns last season. I get it. Joe Flacco comes in. It's all the storylines. Joe Flacco wins comeback player of the year, even though DeMar Hamlin should have won it because he literally died on the football field and then came back and played football the next season. So voting is weird. But I'm going to take the media darling. I'm going to take the football fan, the real football guys that are voting on this award. I'm going to take the guy for that. And he's going to win 11 games this year. The culture has changed. They're going to run the ball 45 times a game. Jim Harbaugh, the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm taking him as my Coach of the Year pick.
Wow.
It's interesting. I mean,
they have no receivers. They're going to run the fucking ball, and they're going to play defense, and they're going to win 11 games. I'm telling you, go look at Jim Harbaugh's record. Like, every time he's gone to a new place, like Stanford, didn't go to a bowl game. They won like 4 games the previous year. They win like 10 games that first year, go to a New Year's Six bowl. Like, he just does it. He goes to the 49ers, terrible the year before, comes in, goes to the playoffs, wins the division. Like, goes to Michigan, turns them around from a 5-7 team. They missed the bowl. They turn around, they win 9 games or 10 games that next season. Like, that's just what he does. He comes in, he shifts the culture, and they win football games. Ground and pound, play defense, fuck it, we win. Give me Jim Harbaugh.
I like the pick a lot. I mean, I love Jim. I think he's gonna. I think the Chargers are in great hands. I think it makes a lot of sense because also coaches that immediately come in and change the culture of a shitty team or a team that's been struggling, they always get the votes for that. So I'll take that. I mean, I think D'Amico Ryans might be a little bit out of the running just because everyone expects us to be good. That's just kind of how that goes. It's usually that goes to the coach who takes a bad team to being solid. That's why he should have won it last year. But I will tail that pick, Stoney. I will take Jim Harbaugh with you.
With D'Amico, he's got to win 13, 14 games. He's got to beat the Ravens, the Dolphins, and do y'all have the Chiefs on the schedule? I don't know. But, like, you've got to beat those big games, and you got to win 13, 14 games for him to win Coach of the Year, which isn't out of the realm of possibility. I'm not saying that's not happening. I'm just saying that's a tougher road than what Jim Harbaugh has because he has to turn a shitty team into, like, a wild card team.
If the Chargers make the wild card round, he'll win that.
I think there's a very good chance it'll be D'Amico. I'm not going to say it's D'Amico, though, because I don't know. He should have won it last year, and I think when you should win it, like Noah said, then you get your crazy roster. Then, even though he's helped build the roster, I think we will win 13, 14 games this year, and maybe he will win it. But I'm going to take a safer pick, and I'm going to say a guy who maybe should have got it last year.
Yeah,
Dan Campbell. I'm going Applebee's, son. I'm going Applebee's, son. I think the Detroit Lions will win close to 13, 14 games this year. Could secure that 1 seed. Once you secure that 1 seed, very safe pick to have numerous award winners, including Coach of the Year. I think Dan Campbell gets it this year. The media does love him. He is a good coach. He's a classic football coach. Very hard nosed. Applebee's.
I like it. He was my pick last year, so I couldn't do 2 in a row there. Next pick, last award that we're picking, the Defensive Player of the Year award. I need y'all to go first because I have 0 names written down and like 7 names rolling around in my head right now. So
I got one.
Is it just going to be Will Anderson or Danielle Hunter?
No, I think it's Derek Stingley.
You get 10 picks and
I think it's Derek
Defensive Player of the Year.
No, I think he has. All right, the way I see Derek Stingley, the way he was playing second half of last season when he was very good, few games in the preseason that he played, I think only actually one, and he had a lot of snaps against the Giants. He looks like goddamn prime Richard Sherman. Looks like prime Richard Sherman. He's running the routes for the receivers. He's got length. He's got ball skills. Some of his interceptions are just insane. I think he has a chance to finish the year with close to like double-digit interceptions, and I think he's gonna be lock. And Will Anderson will have a lot of sacks, not 20, but he will have a lot of sacks, maybe double them from last year. And I think you look at Derek Stingley, we have one of the best defenses in the NFL. You look at the guy who is really making all the plays in the secondary, it's Derek Stingley. I'm taking Derek Stingley as Defensive Player of the Year next year.
I think I totally agree. I think Derek absolutely can be in the running for that. He's incredible. But I think even if we're talking Texans, and I'll pick a Texans guy. I didn't go D'Amico with the Coach of the Year pick, so I'll pick a Texans guy. But I think the player on our defense that has the best chance to win Defensive Player of the Year is Danielle Hunter. I think Danielle Hunter is just built for it. I mean, Danielle Hunter's been ready. He's been extremely consistent, and he's never been on a team with this much help and this great of a defensive coach. Like, never. In Minnesota, love Minnesota. They've had success while he's been there, some success, but nothing compared to what he's going to get this year. And I said on and off the gridiron that I think the most likely player, like if we're talking about guys who are able to get 20 sacks on this defense, Danielle Hunter could get 20 sacks. He could get 19 and a half, 20 sacks. Obviously, that would be insane to be incredible, but he has that potential. He's that kind of player, and especially when look, they can try to focus on Danielle all they want, but the teams are going to find out real quick that when they double team or do whatever they got to do to Danielle Hunter, that Will Anderson's going to be wrecking shop on the other side, and they're going to have to do something about it. So it's an even playing field on both ends of the defensive line. Danielle Hunter is also just a vet, and he knows what he's got to do against specific tackles that he's going against. He's gone up against before. He knows how they move their hands. He knows what moves work on them. Danielle just is that guy. I think he's going to have an incredible year.
He's going to make the best defensive coordinator one day. He still drives like a 2011 Chevy or whatever. Like he's going to make $100 million in his career after this season. Like over the season, he's going to surpass $100 million in career earnings, and he's still driving just a car that works. Not just he's a bro. He's not driving a McLaren. Sure. He's not driving a Rolls. He's just going to be an incredible defensive coordinator one day. Can't wait to see that. My defensive player of the year pick. You swayed me, Garrett. You swayed me really good. I'm going to take Jalen Ramsey from the Miami Dolphins. I think he's going to get
out of here, dude. You baited me.
He was one of the players in my head that I was thinking about. Had TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, just the pass rushers that are going to get 15 plus sacks. That's kind of what this award has really become over probably the last decade, is like who has the most sacks. All right, that guy wins defensive player of the year. We had that one year. Stephon Gilmore won it when he wasn't even the best corner in the NFL and didn't have the most picks in the NFL. Somehow he won it over Xavier Howard, because the Dolphins, I think, stunk that year. I think we won 5 games, but I think he had like 11 picks and Stephon Gilmore had 10. I think that's kind of the number. You need 9+ picks in order to win Defensive Player of the Year and just have a shitload of tackles and pass breakups and all that kind of stuff. Just lock it down, like Richard Sherman for the Seahawks and the Legion of Boom. Like if you just take down one side of the field or whoever you're guarding, I think Sauce Gardner is prime for this award in a couple years as well, just because the media loves him for whatever reason, even though he just doesn't play legally. He holds pass interference all the time. I'm going to take Jalen Ramsey. I think he's about to get a contract today or tomorrow before the season starts, and I think he's going to play free. He's going to play loose, and I think this defense is going to be really fucking good this year. So I think he's going to get like 9 picks and take Defensive Player of the Year. That's my pick. You baited me. I baited you, but you convinced me.
You did.
It's time for a corner. Give me a corner, defensive back.
Time for a corner, and to me at least, Derek Stingley looks all pro ready. Hey, looks like prime Richard Sherman.
The first ever podcast we did together, I believe. We were all in the old office, HQ2, for Apollo Media in Houston, and you asked me, I think Noah asked me, Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley, and I was like, it's Derek Stingley, and it's not even a fucking question. Like, that's easy. He's a better player.
You did.
So, yeah, I love that pick.
Yeah. Well, you've also been a Sauce hater since day.
Well, he went to the wrong fucking team. So, if he went to literally any other team outside of the AFC East, he would have been fine. Maybe I like him.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
That's right.
He went to the wrong team. Last thing before we get out of here for the season preview 2024 NFL season, is going to get underway tomorrow. We're recording this Wednesday, September 4th. It will be up today. You will be listening to this today. We will have our week 1 preview come out tomorrow, Thursday morning, before the first game kicks off. But the last thing we're doing is picking our Super Bowl matchups. And boys, it's going to be a good one.
Lot of, I think the Super Bowl is pretty open-ended to who is going to be in it. There could be a lot of, I mean, it's not very simple this year.
No.
All right. I'll give mine.
Sure, go for it.
I'll give mine. I'll start it.
I think we're going to have the same one.
Yeah?
I think we're going to have the same matchup.
All right. Mine's going to be interesting. I'm kind of still deciding in my head a little bit, but I got it. Texans. So obviously my boys making it to the bowl, first time in NFL history, first time in franchise history. And I think they take on Jordan Love and the Packers in Louisiana.
Wow.
Okay, never mind.
I think I was deciding between the Lions or the Packers. I just think the Packers are going to have the end of the year juice. I do, and I think that's just going to be a really fun Super Bowl. Jordan Love versus C.J. Stroud in New Orleans for the that would just be incredible. So I'm going to take that. That's my prediction. Also my hope.
Yeah, ours was pretty close. I'm gonna say Texans. I'm being a homer. I believe this is the year. I believe it. Everything has been telling me y'all are gonna. It's gonna end out. It's gonna end. The season's gonna end well for us, at least with a Super Bowl appearance. And I think I'm just gonna take. It's gonna sound boring, but I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions. With my logic throughout what I've been saying, Dan Campbell being coach of the year, them having 14 dome games, them possibly securing the 1 seed. If they secure the 1 seed, they're going to the Super Bowl. You're not going to Detroit and beating Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions with their run game, with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jameson Williams is going to break out, I think. Their defense has a bunch of playmakers. They get the 1 seed, they're going to the Super Bowl, and I think they will with 13 or 14 wins. And it could end up even being a fucking Packers and Lions NFC Championship game.
That would be insane.
That would be crazy. That would be cinema. So, but I just don't think that. I think also Jahmyr Gibbs has the opportunity to have over 2,000 all-purpose yards from the line of scrimmage. So,
yeah,
when you have guys like that, when you have dudes like that, you're gonna have to make the step to the Super Bowl, or else it's bust. For them, it's Super Bowl or bust this year. So, I think it's Texans and Lions.
All right, I have teams on here that no one's mentioned. I have a lot of faith in the Houston Texans. I have a lot of faith in the Miami Dolphins. The home teams of this playoff or of this podcast. I have a lot of faith in them. However, no one has instilled more faith in me than Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. It's the hardest thing to do. It's never been done before to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. I don't think they do it this year, but I think I have the Chiefs, the AFC representative, in the Super Bowl. I said it before the Super Bowl preview in February that until Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid prove me wrong, they will always win. It is the new Tom Brady, Bill Belichick rule. Until they prove you wrong, they will always win. I'm going to have them playing against the Los Angeles Rams and Sean McVay and Matt Stafford. And Matt Stafford is gunning towards Peyton Manning. He's going to have a Peyton Manning year where he gets a second Super Bowl.
Damn.
And is in top 5 in all the statistical categories. And all of a sudden, Peyton Manning's sitting there like, I'm one of the greatest of all time. And Matt Stafford's sitting there. I got 2 rings and the same numbers, boys. Let's have a debate.
Yeah.
Let's have a debate. I think Matt Stafford.
We're talking about a generational. We're talking about like Matthew Stafford rounding out his generational. He's creating a generational Hall of Fame career.
Like he's already a Hall of Famer. He's got his ring. He's got all the numbers. He's not Eli Manning. He's not the guy that fiddled around with 9 wins a season or 7 wins a season and then all of a sudden becomes a wild card team and beats Tom Brady twice. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a guy that has 2 bona fide Super Bowls, not one where he was carried by the defense and Cam Newton just shitting the bed basically and not diving over a fumble in whatever year that was, 2015, 2016. We're not talking about that. We're talking about like a 2013 Peyton Manning. Like he's gunslinging it around, but he's going to win the Super Bowl. That's the caveat. And we're not having 2013 full-on Peyton Manning season. We're going to have the full-on Super Bowl, Matt Stafford just shooting up the rankings, heading towards that Mount Rushmore.
I was about to say, if Matt Stafford ends his career with 2 rings and the career numbers he has, I think it's hard to not put him as a top 5.
Yeah, I mean, we got Mahomes, Brady, Montana.
I mean, for us,
those are the 3 on the Mount Rushmore right now. Peyton Manning is him or Elway, like one of the 2 you put right there. They both have 2 rings. Manning probably has better numbers, so you probably put Manning there just because the era he played in, he got to throw the ball a little bit more. But if Matt Stafford gets that second Super Bowl,
but Matt Stafford is similar to a guy kind of Mahomes a little bit, where it's like you watch him play, but just the way that he plays quarterback is incredible. Well, the things he does, very few quarterbacks that have ever lived can do. So if you get a player like that, similar to like Aaron Rodgers, right, like just beautiful balls. But the thing is, also, you get him the success, the rings, then that's brewing up for a top 5 quarterback of all time. I think, wow. I mean, if that happens, I'd be thrilled.
I mean, people are. I mean, it's great for us to admit it because I love Matthew Stafford, but there's gonna be a lot of people who are afraid to admit that a life or pretty much a career long quarterback with the Detroit Lions is a is an all timer.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be very hard for people to admit that, but getting 2 rings with the Rams, that just changes everything because it's like, oh, the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams, they're a very historic franchise. Lots of great success from that franchise, from that organization. So maybe the tides will turn. Maybe people will start talking about Matthew Stafford in the conversation that he should be in, especially if he gets a ring, another one.
Yeah.
I like the Rams pick. I like the Rams.
I have a lot of faith in them this season, and I like Stafford's healthy, McVay's still there. Their offense looked better. There's something about them right now, boys, and no one's really talking about it. There's like 1 or 2 NFL Network or ESPN guys that are like, I kind of like the Rams this year, but they're like, I kind of like the Rams. I really like the Rams. I really like the Rams.
You love them. You have them winning.
And if I had it my way, it'd be Dolphins versus give me fucking anyone. I don't care who they play, and they win. That would be my dream. But this is my pick: Chiefs versus Rams. Rams take it home.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick the winner. I had to do the whole storyline thing, you know.
Super Bowl. I'll take Texans. Winning.
I really don't want to lose the Lions. I really don't want to do that. So I'm gonna pick the Texans too. Like, I get it. Fucking Lions. Oh, D-Town. They've been bad. They've been down bad for a long time, and then winning it would be great for them. But I don't know. I just don't want that to happen. You
can do it.
I can't do that. No way. So I'm not losing to Jared Goff in the Super Bowl. I refuse. Even though it is in a dome.
I'm just now looking at my show notes that I wrote up. We do have one more thing before we go. We'll make it really quick. Prize Picks, pick of the season. So if you go to Prize Picks, download the daily fantasy app Prize Picks, plug in code Apollo when you sign up, get up to $100 match. So if you put in $100, Prize Picks is just going to give you another $100. So then there's $200 in your account, and you're set for either a week or the whole season, depending on how much money you put in. Daily Fantasy, where you hit more or less on each player, each game, each season. So they have season-long picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up. Get up to $100 matched. I'm taking Tua Tagovailoa more than 4,074.5 passing yards for the season. I think he threw for like almost 4,600 last season. That's an easy pick for me. He's going to get over 4,000.
Yeah, I'm gonna take.
Go
I'll go. I'm gonna take over on Stephon Diggs receiving yards. I think it's.
Fuck, I was literally about to say that.
Sorry, Garrett. I think it's like what is it, like 950 or something like that?
Yeah, it's in the 900s.
Yeah,
that's easy, and of course my Prize Picks doesn't want to.
Yeah, I'll take more. I'll take more on Stephon Diggs, and I think that's an easy bet. Sorry,
Garrett. I've got you one. More than passing yards on CJ Stroud, 4,174.5 yards. Okay.
No, I got one better for you. Nico Collins, his line for 100-yard receiving games this season. 3.5.
Smashing the more than.
I'm taking that. That's a juicy
smashing
line.
More than.
That's a juicy line. Yeah, so I'm taking. He's gonna. I mean, last year he had
several.
He had the 100 yards, but there's some games he had almost 200 fucking yards. So
yeah,
I'm taking Nico Collins. 3.5. His line is 3.5. I'm taking the more than. On 100 yards.
Yeah, smash that download button on Prize Picks in your app store, whatever kind of phone you have, or just sign up online. You can do it on the web browser as well. You don't even have to have it on phone. You don't even have to have a phone to use Prize Picks. It's pretty cool. Use code Apollo when you sign up.
You can use your mind.
You should win some money on Prize Picks and then go buy a phone.
That'll do it.
This week.
That'll do it, boys. That's Prize Picks.
Having a phone would be making
season-long picks and Prize Picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up and get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Shout out to Prize Picks. Shout out to Big City Wings. Shout out to you, boys. And shout out to football for being back. We can't wait. Tomorrow. We're back.
Tomorrow
night.
Can't wait. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy, baby.
Can't wait.
Season, boys.
Cannot wait. This has been Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast.
See you later. Watch football.
Later.